to everyone. And thank you, Ms. Southwell, for your introduction. However, you miss a little note that Leslie has a little exercise that he carries out before Dr. Laws approaches you. So in the future. All right. Okay, good. Thank you everyone for tuning in and listening to this briefing. And I want to discuss a number of things with you today. Again, I want to address the situation regarding events. I am informed that there are a number of social media posts stating that the task force has canceled all events. I wish to emphatically state that that is not true. That is far from the truth. However, I do state that we are reviewing some of the activities that have occurred for the past week or so, and we are looking at reviewing the policy regarding, the protocol, regarding these events. Event organizers and promoters are reminded, again, to submit their application for permission to host this event to the Office of the Commissioner of Police. And the email is right there, is Office of Commissioner at police.kn. Office of Commissioner at police.kn. And allow me to read a part of the Emergency Powers Regulation which speaks to the restriction of social activities. It clearly states, no person, number 6, no person shall host, attend, or visit private party, a wedding, subject to Regulation 5 and 10, a banquet ball or reception, any other ceremony in any facility or public place, a funeral subject to Regulation 5 and 10, a meeting of fraternal society, private or social club, or civic association or organization. Any public beach subject to Regulation 5 and 11, or any other type of social event, except with the written permission of the Commissioner of Police in consultation with the National COVID-19 Task Force. So what happens? The promoters, event organizers, they submit to the Commissioner of Police. The Commissioner of Police will then consult with the National COVID-19 Task Force. And let me inform you that we meet every Tuesday afternoon, whereby we review all the submissions made and give our recommendations to the Office of the Commissioner of Police for the Commissioner of Police to make his final deliberations. That is the process. Let me encourage you. If you want to host your event, plan your event with sufficient time to allow you, to allow the process to take place. We meet on Tuesdays, again, to take a look at all these submissions so that we can provide our recommendations. Please be guided. Any submissions for events that are sent directly to the chairman of the COVID-19 task force will be sent back to you so that you can send it through the proper channel, which is, again, Office of Commissioner at police.kn. Please be so guided. The task force continued with a number of meetings. We would have met with the Ministry of Education regarding the reopening of schools. And I am excited to reach home today so my daughter could tell me how her first day of school would have been today. So I'm sure Jadiah is highly excited about going to primary school. And she would have started primary school during a pandemic. So she will be going into history during this time. We also would have carried out some inspections in the manufacturing sector, in particular Jaro Electronics. And Jaro Electronics has been approved to have an additional 87 staff to return to work. And I want to thank the management of Jaro Electronics Ms. Doris Archibald, and others for the hard work that they have done in ensuring that the facility is habitable and compliant with the regulations. The Compliance Task Force has been reactivated. We are doing some restructuring, and they are actually performing inspections for business places and also for pre-approved quarantine sites. Again, 37 businesses were assessed, and some of the concerns that are being raised by the assessment that are being done is that more businesses, while they are compliant with the social distancing, the physical distancing, the main concern is the sanitization and the wearing of face mask. Now, Superintendent Henry spoke to the importance of using the face mask. $500 is not worth it. These are hard times. Failure to pay the $500 within 10 days, it means then that you will have to be summoned to go to court, which could increase the penalty to a higher amount. I want to encourage every citizen to wear the face mask in accordance with the regulation, and if you have to be exempted, visit your medical doctor and seek guidance from such. Please adhere to the regulation. It's in your best interest. Our borders are going to be open very soon. We are seeing what is happening around our region, around the world, and very close to our neighbors very close to us. We don't want to go back into no lockdown mode. So I am appealing to you to adhere to these non-pharmaceutical measures that are being advised for us to use. So at the present moment, to increase the task force compliance team, we have approximately 30 persons who are undergoing training at the police training school, and this training is going to be for a 2-week period. After these persons finish or complete the training, they will now be integrated into the teams that are functioning, and then we will be increasing the numbers. We are going to be very strict on compliance. We are going to be very strict in ensuring that citizens, business places, all sectors of society, even events, are compliant once they are given permission to do so. If not, you are non-compliant, then you're going to have to face the penalties that comes with non-compliance. The persons in the tourism sector are encouraged to attend and participate in the multi-stakeholders training being conducted at the RLB International Airport. Now, remember that you are going to be given a seal of approval. What that means is that you would have satisfied the trainers, you would have satisfied those persons who are going to approve you functioning in the sector, inclusive of tourism authorities, inclusive of the National Task Force. And once you do so, you get the seal of approval, meaning that you are certified to provide service within the sector. If you want to be functioning within the sector, you have to go through these training sessions and whatever inspections that have to be done. If you're interested, I'm encouraging you to register again with Tourism Authority, undertake the training, and await your certification. I am appealing to you to do so if you work in the sector or interested in the sector. Now, pre-approved quarantine sites application process. I've been receiving a lot of requests from the time I mentioned it last week. I'm telling you, I believe OTI and Royal St. Kitts have not received one request for quarantine. What do you have to do? Step 1, you complete the pre-approved quarantine site application form. However, let me state that the form is currently being worked on. There's some adjustment that has to be done on the form. So I am going to advise you that you can make your submission in the form of a letter to the chairman of the COVID-19 Task Force, and you will email this to the COVID-19 Task Force at gov.kn. The compliance team will then inspect the property, and once the inspection is done and you verify the approved security that will be prescribed by the Commissioner of Police for the 24 hours monitoring of your property. You will then be reviewed to ensure that all the criteria is met, and a final approval will be given to you to sign, and that binds you to a contract. Superintendent Henry said, if you break that contract, then there will be penalties. And part of the protocols is that if persons break any form of the agreement, then we will move you to a designated government facility, and if you continue, then we will move you to the court for prosecution if necessary. I'm hopeful that we don't reach that stage. No, we are still in the hurricane season. We are in the peak, and I don't know if my PRO will appreciate me saying that while we are in the peak, we are now peaking within the peak. We have in the hurricane basin, Paulette and Rene, which are known to, well, which are classified as fish storm. What does this mean? That the only thing that might be affected by the storms are fishes. The trajectory for these storms is that they will basically remain over the seas, and they will not affect any landmass. So Paulette and Rene, according to the Met Office, are not posing any threat as yet to the Caribbean region. However, I want to emphasize that persons should continue to prepare, and if you don't have a plan, develop a plan, and if you do have one, review your plan and update it accordingly. So this is the weather forecast. So there is no significant threat to St. Kitts and Nevis, and this is valid until 8 a.m. tomorrow morning. So across the Eastern Caribbean, from British Virgin Islands southwards to Trinidad and Tobago, we can expect fair to partly cloudy skies with moderate chance of brief showers, as a moderate trade winds flow transports shallow, low-level patches across the area. So that is what is expected throughout the region for the next 24 hours. I want to thank you for tuning in. And again, let me dispel the fact that the task force has not stopped any events. However, I must state, we were concerned by what was observed at one of the events last week. I am appealing to all event promoters and organizers going forward. If you put something on paper and you submit it and is approved, it is expected that you would adhere, and also you would agree to carry out that agreement that you signed. In the future, we are not going to be so amicable. Such observation will be resulting in the event either being shut down, or we will ask you to ensure that you are compliant. So if we say to you 200 persons and you have 201, we're going to ask you to get the extra one out, and if you don't comply, it means that the entire lights will be out for the event for that day. That doesn't mean that you cannot host another event another time. I'm asking all to comply. We are looking forward to meeting with a number of stakeholders within that sector to ensure that going forward, as our borders are going to open, this sector does not become a high-risk sector to the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. Thank you once again, and I look forward to you being compliant as our borders are going to be open, and this is the time that we are heightening our strictness regarding compliance with the regulation. Thank you very much.